Welcome to Moon Harbor Extended. Today's issue is Cosmic, Issue 6, Facing Memories. On the cover, Ovi and Jet stand at the top of a dilapidated office building, with their backs to the reader. They stare out over a desolate view of the remains of a skyscraper-laden city. Most of the buildings are decayed beyond recognition. Within them, we can see the remains of a few Moon Harbor landmarks, like the Star Building and Monarch Power. We turn the page and our story begins. Okay, I'm going to have you roll your Harbinger move here in a little bit. I just want to frame you into the scene, and then we can kind of roll it towards the end of that, like after that framing.
Okay.
Alright, so our first panel in this comic is on the top of a hill, looking out over what vaguely looks like Moon Harbor, but most of the buildings are destroyed. There's no green left at all. And we can see some like large, in the distance, very geometric shapes just like floating over the landscape. And we see one of Ovi's portals crack open and Ovi and Jet fall out, probably about 10 feet downwards towards the ground. And then it snaps shut. The two of you just kind of land in a jumble. And there's a moment of just very still quietness. And we can see these huge shapes in the background still moving. Ovi, you know exactly where you are at this point.
Yep, and I don't like it.
So what do you do first?
I think she kind of like freezes up for a bit. Like, wait, how? What? Fuck.
We get those 3 thought bubbles. I love it. And Jet, as you pull yourself up, if I remember right, your parents' estate's kind of on the outskirts of town.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can see just the remains of that a distance off, but not as far as like the rest of the town proper.
Oh no! I'm walking off in that direction towards.
Wait,
my house. I don't
Jet,
even
wait,
see the
wait,
things.
wait.
Okay, I hold back.
Ovi's just like grabbing on him, like, no, don't you dare go any closer. Look, I don't know how it happened, but I guess I just portaled us through time. So we're in my Moon Harbor. So that's not a good idea.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. As long as we can get back.
I think this we see a panel of Ovi doing that face with just like her mouth is open and her teeth are just clenched together like, yikes. I guess we'll see. I know it's probably not going to work, but I would like to try to make a portal back to the present. Or I guess the past, whichever it is.
Do you think we could bring home a souvenir?
I was saying that out of character.
Tell me what that looks like when it fails.
So what she's trying to do is to create a portal back to the ship, and I think she does create a portal, but it's just like void. Like we see the normal like colors of her portal, but just inside it's like just total darkness, and she just shuts it again. Like, well, okay, never mind.
Oh, I like that a lot. Do you want to roll your start a session move?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Oh boy, a 6. On a miss, you're lost in the present, though I guess we're in the past, we're in the future now. The GM will tell you how things are so different here and shift your labels according to how it makes you feel.
So how does being back in your present make you feel?
I think once the shock is over and she's able to like process it, it's just dread.
Cool. How about mundane up, savior down? Does that feel good?
Sure.
Or right, I guess is more appropriate question.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think in the background of the panel, when your portal snaps back shut, we see one of those just massive, like large rectangular ships start to pivot and head towards you all.
Shit.
What do y'all do?
Ovi's first instinct would be to try to portal to the last safe house that she knew.
Give me an unleash your powers.
Okay. 8.
All right, on a 7 to 9, it's either unstable or you mark or temporary, or you mark a condition. Your call.
I'm gonna mark afraid.
Okay, excellent. So we get the panels of Ovi just ripping open this portal, and I think through the portal we can't see much other than just a stretch of hallway with like a flickering light. What do you do?
I grab Jet and I pull him in.
Hey, yo, Ovi, I think that thing's coming for us.
Yep. So we're getting out.
We fall through the portal.
Cool. And the portal snaps shut, and our next panel is where you all were standing, and that ship like just looming closer. Then we turn the page, and we're going to open on Mason and Mal. Back on the USB in the... Did we give that a name? The holodeck? Or are we just going to go full on? It's called holodeck.
I don't think we ever named it specifically, but it can be the hollow porch.
I think I prefer to just call it the holodeck, because that sounds terrible.
It's like the same thing. A deck and a porch are the same thing. The hollow veranda.
Hollow gazebo.
All right.
I hate this so much.
We're going to be cutting into this like near the end of you all giving your kind of report on what happened to one of the people you report to at Saber. What does the holodeck look like at this point? And where are you all within it?
I think it's a replica. It becomes a Saber headquarters office. I think that's just like the standard is like when we go to meetings. Most of the time, I think that the holodeck just kind of defaults to becoming a Saber headquarters.
I think we did a team session in the beautiful field, and then we did like an American diner to meet with the slug people.
I thought we met with someone else for whatever. Regardless, I think we're in a Saber office, and I think.
Oh, I think we got our mission in the field from somebody from Saber, but I don't remember who.
Me either.
Okay, so what do we want it to look like this time? Let's not set a precedent. What does it look like on this panel?
I'm good with Saber office. Anyone else have thoughts?
Mason, are you good with that?
I'm totally good with that.
All right, cool. And yeah, I can't remember who you were all talking to at Saber.
We had a contact at Saber that lived in like a haunted space moon base, I think. But I forgot who our contact is.
Is it Esther Hargrade? I have him written down as the head engineer of the moon base.
Okay, there was somebody who... Oh, I remember now. Our contact at Saber was somebody who was like really good at their job, and they were mute, I think. I think they talked in sign language.
He was deaf. He talked in ASL, yeah.
I remember that it was a man. I don't know who he was.
Cool. I'm going to go back and listen to the first episode at some point, and then I will record myself introducing them. And I will use he pronouns for the rest of this conversation that we will all definitely hear right now. We open on Dr. Henry Childs standing on the holofield. Perfect. So we cut in, and you all have given like your general what went down. Is there anything that you don't tell them, or anything that you like, anything that happened you don't tell them about, or anything like you aren't honest about? Just so I know.
Mal doesn't know everything, so I'm not going to tell him everything that I know out of character, but I'm very honest about what happened on my end of things. I tried to distract, without communicating with the team, I tried to distract so they could all like get away and be safe. Ended up causing a lot of collateral damage and blowing up at least one, if not more, of the, what were we calling the Star Slugs?
Starlings.
Starling ships. Also filling in on the dissolvey light pod that
So everything you remember, you're not holding anything back?
Nope, I'm telling everything.
Cool. Mason?
I think Mason would basically not hold anything back, but only reply to things that he's asked about, if that makes sense.
And when asked to give like a full briefing of the mission, it would just be kind of like the core mechanicals of it?
Yeah, it'd be very brief, and like the person from Saber would probably need to pry a lot of it out of him.
Okay, cool. But you're not like choosing to like hide things, right?
He wouldn't hide anything, no.
Okay. And he signs, we'll have someone look into the Starlings and their further activities immediately. For now, your objective is to find your teammates. We can't find them on any of our scans. Their communicators aren't showing active. We've rented some space on a station that we think is uniquely suited to help you search. And I think our next panel is, unless you all have anything you want to say to this, cool if I cut?
Cut away.
I'm good.
Our next panel is the USB outside a like floating gate style thing. There's a line of ships, and like we see a couple panels of you in the line. And as you get closer, like these ships, like at the gate, like we can see them stretch and then zip off straight forward. And we get Unless anyone has a better name for this station, I was thinking of just the Fold.
I really like the Fold.
Yeah, I like that.
Is it an acronym for something, or is it just called the Fold?
I didn't have an acronym for it. I think that's a Saber thing.
Cool. I like that. I was trying to come up with an acronym on the spot, but it wasn't working. So I think the Fold is great.
Jet, you good with
Yes.
that? All right. We see jump gate to the Fold. Then we turn the page, and we're going to open on Mason and Mal. Inside the, I'm going to call them the offices that Saber has rented for you on this station. You're in whatever's like the ready room, your lounge, wherever you be chatting and talking out your plan. What does that look like?
I think that we are in I think like Saber rented like 2 offices with like an adjoining like antechamber, but it's like when they say antechamber, it's basically just a closet between the 2 rooms. And I think we're like sitting in this closet essentially.
I think Mason is studying the architecture of the place because it's clear that there's 2 different. There are like chips here that were sort of just welded together with a little closet space, and that's where we are.
I like that. And to just kind of put into like perspective here, I think you've been on the ship for about like 3 hours. I think some kind of robotic thing gave you a quick tour of most of the main parts of the station. And I'm gonna hand the scene over to you all for now.
I think Mal is like leaning against Mal's kind of standing in the middle of the room. And because of my new like gravity thing that I've got going on, the like gravity force field around me, I think I'm like trying to stay as far away from all furniture and people as possible. Because if I get too close to anything, like things start getting pulled into my orbit. And I'm looking around and I'm like, what is keeping them? What is taking so long? We were supposed to meet with the Saber representative like an hour ago.
I mean, we have plenty of time. It's cool.
We don't know where Ovi and Jet ended up. We don't know where they are, and we need to find them.
We are finding them. It's just taking a bit longer than we thought.
Right, but like if they landed on a lava planet, they're dead by now. So, time is not exactly a luxury we can afford.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm aware that it's fair.
Mason just shrugs and goes back to studying the architecture.
Mal looks around and finally is like, fuck it. And goes and opens the door between the 2 rooms, like from the antechamber to the main office. And is like, look, we're not waiting anymore. We need to talk to someone now.
Mason, any response?
No, I'm just staying out of it.
Mal, where do you head?
I'm like, I go right into the main office, I think. Is there anyone in there?
Yeah, there's a receptionist there. Does anyone have any ideas for an alien for this person? Where's my list of aliens?
I think she is a like computer screen, like physical body, body, organic body, but where a head would be, it's just a computer screen.
Oh, I like that. The screen turns towards you as you enter the room, and it shows like a bright digital smile. What can I help you with?
Look, they said we were supposed to meet with someone like an hour ago from Saber. I don't know where anyone is, but our friends could be dead by now, so I just need to see someone now.
As far as my records show, you're the only Saber personnel on board.
Oh, we were requesting to speak. We called them and they said they would send someone. Okay. Look, we have to find someone who portaled to somewhere. Don't know how to track them down. Is there like a space wizard or someone who can track people through the entire multiverse?
She reaches out a hand, picks up a small tablet, and hands it to you. It's a map of the station, and like 3 levels below you, there's a glowing dot. It's like, there's a group working on something there that might help you if you're psychically inclined.
I am now, apparently. Great. Thank you. And I think I like go to pick up the tablet and it just gets like picked into the gravity field and starts like floating around me. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I like stop it in front of my face with telepathy. And I'm like, this is gonna get really annoying really fast. I turn back and I'm like, Mason, come on, we have to go downstairs.
Mason begrudgingly follows Mal.
Cool. And I think we get the panel of the door closing behind you. And we turn the page, and we are back in the other timeline. You all are in some kind of underground hallway. I mean, whose safe house is this?
This is the last place that she was before she got sent to the past. So this was the last time she was here. It was like a Saber safe house where they had like finally gotten together all of the equipment they needed to send her to the past. And it was kind of this had been like one of the like pretty secure ones, and it had been mostly run by the scientist developing that technology.
Okay, excellent. I think we get a couple panels of you all going through the safe house, and everything's on emergency power. It looks like it hasn't been used in a while. There's still some bits of equipment laying about, but a lot of it looks obviously broken. What are you doing here?
What is there that looks really, really valuable and not available in our current time?
I think the best way to do that is to have Ovi roll all the best stuff. I'm giving Ovi access to the Scion all the best stuff while you are all in the future. So specifically to deal with safe houses and caches.
Yep. Since this is one of the safe houses, I'm going to roll plus savior.
That's a 7.
Yeah, on a 7 to 9, you leave evidence you've been here.
Okay. And on a hit, you find a tool or intel useful to your situation. Do you have any ideas for what you'd find in this safe house?
Well, Ovi would be looking for something different than Jet. I think Ovi is specifically trying to find traces of where everybody went / like what is the current date? Like how long has it been since she was last here?
I want to make some money.
Excellent. Jet, we're going to start with what do you find?
Are you asking me?
Yep. What do you find?
Okay. I was like to think that I find some kind of medical thing that does not exist.
Okay, excellent. I think we get the panels of you like turning that around and looking at it. And then in the background, we see Obi picking up like a torn bundle of papers. And they appear to be like orders that have been given from this post. The last of them was dated about 3 years after you left. But you do see some scattered remains to point towards some safe houses like closer to the heart of Moon Harbor.
Okay, and then that still doesn't tell us like how long it's been today. Okay.
Right. It's been at least 3 years, but you're not sure from there.
Yeah. What information does it have about other safe houses?
It's the locations of a couple other safe houses closer to the heart of Moon Harbor.
Okay, but I guess the more important question is: are there photos of these safe houses?
I think there are photos of the location of one of the planned safe houses, so outside of where it would be.
Okay, cool. God damn it. Okay, it's later than I thought it would be. This is weird.
Out of character, what did the enemy things look like? I thought you described them as like geometry shapes.
Their ships are. They're just like large, very huge, almost featureless rectangles in the sky.
Hey, I bet we could take those things on.
We really can't, Jet.
I mean, you don't know until you try.
We did.
Oh, right.
And I think at that, like, there's a partially covered window in the safe house. And outside it, you see this large, like a bright glow. And our next panel is the two of you looking through that window. And we see one of those ships far off in the distance, just firing these huge beams at the ground. And like buildings, trees, like everything there just kind of breaks into pieces and lifts up into the ship. Just harvesting huge chunks out of the landscape.
Point taken.
Yep. Welcome to my home.
And I think with that, we're going to cut back to the past. Oh, God, time's confusing.
We're gonna get so confused with this. I love it.
And I think we're going to start this panel opening up into like a large bay that hosts like what is clearly an experimental laboratory. There's all kinds of just sci-fi equipment everywhere, lots of cables running in all directions. And we see you two talking to two very human-looking scientists. Like they're in lab coats. They're very human-looking. Yeah, that was the greatest framing that's ever been done. Sorry. But in the middle of this room, taking up the bulk of the room, is a large, just metal like cylinder chamber, and we have Mason and Mal standing there. One of them is excitedly like just techno babbling about this machine, and the other, trying to ignore him, turns like, "So, you've lost your friend?"
Friends, plural. Though, I mean, one of them is whatever. Yes, I lost my friends. Our friends. They're gone, and we would like to get them back. They, she, Ov, portaled and jumped away, and I don't know where she went. We thought she and our other friend may have gone to the ship, but I don't know because they didn't end up at the ship. And I just, sorry, I'm in space and I'm overwhelmed. So, okay.
And I think in the background of this panel, we have the other scientist just nonstop babbling to Mason. I don't know what Mason's reaction to that is, but
Mason is just listening very intently because this is really interesting to him, but he doesn't have a clue what the scientist is talking about because Mason he picked up a bit of mechanics, but he's not good with electronics, so he's way out of his depth.
fantastic.
Yeah. At that point, though, Mason says to the scientist, "Can you hold on just a second?" And he turns around, and another Mason walks in the room, holding a big burger that's half eaten, and he turns to the first Mason and goes, "I'm totally full. You want the rest of this?" And Mason goes, "Yeah, sure." And he grabs half of the burger, and the other Mason poofs, and he turns around to the scientist again. Yeah, so you were saying.
First off, delightful. Second, the least efficient eating system ever. The scientist talking to Mal kind of turns to the other scientist and goes, "Frank, do you think we can risk firing it up?" And the Frank stops, looks at both of you, goes, "It hasn't been tested, but theoretically, psychic amplification could bind them."
I want to connect to both of them in my head and be like, psychic amplification like this.
What are you doing in their head?
I was just talking to them in their head.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I was like connecting and like speaking telepathically.
Well, yeah, with psychic powers in that machine, you get a lot more information.
Mason goes into Mal's head and psychically says to them, "Show off."
Wait, does Mason have psychic abilities too?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. I completely forgot about that. And I'm like, great. We could both go in and try to double the power, see what we can find out.
Sure.
I mean, Mason, if you want to send one of the other Masons in, then we could. So you're safe, I guess.
Yeah, that should work.
So I think our next panel is going to be some combination of you all in that thing. Who's going in? So it seems like you're right. Someone's going in, right?
I'm definitely going in.
Mason?
Yeah, I'm going in.
So yeah, we see Mal and Mason both step into this tube. The Frank spins a big wheel on the side and closes the door back up on it. Who's taking the lead on this roll?
I think I probably am.
Cool. And each of the two teams has a team. So the other can spend a team for this if they want. So here's the move. I didn't give this machine a name, so ignore that bit.
Oh, great. I'm rolling plus superior. That's a 5.
All right.
Do I roll too?
No, you could have spent a team, but I won't push it up enough.
Oh, can Jet spend a team to bump into something devicey over in the future?
If you can give me a good way for it to, like, a good image for it, and you both spend the team, yeah?
I'm just stepping back from the window, and whoa! Something starts beeping.
What device could they psychically connect to talk to you all?
A psychic receiver?
They probably have there's probably a communication device somewhere in the base.
Okay, I'll take that. If Mason spends the team on this side, and the two of you spend a team in some way on your side, yeah.
Can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
Can it be like an old-fashioned, like not even old fashioned, but just like a desk phone, like a straight up like office phone that just starts ringing.
I was kind of picturing like we could open and Obi's like trying to was about to try to like connect to somebody that she knows, like some number that she remembers, and instead it's these two.
You all into that?
Sure.
Jet?
Wait, which thing is happening?
How about this? Let's start with
Because I heard 3 different ideas.
Let's start with on the Mason side of things. Mal, you start getting we get panels seeing like inside your mind flying through space, and then things start to blur. Mason, what does it look like on the page when you put your psychic energy to stabilize this?
I think Mason is trying to hold on to Mal's consciousness, but then for some weird reason he's getting pulled directly into the direction of where he needs to find the signal.
Okay. And I'm gonna jump onto the other side of time. Between the two of you, decide how it's spinning team to connect there. Would it help if we had Mal and Mason pick what option they're going with first?
That might help you.
So if this gets you all to a 7 to 9, which one are you picking?
I think we can speak to them right now. I don't think we can see them or our search goes unnoticed.
They good with you, Mason?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, let's jump back to the future and how you all are spending the team to make this work.
Yeah, I liked Obi trying to like finding the communicator and trying to like call somebody.
Oh, I think we can combine those. If we like jump back, we get Jet like backing away from the window and tripping over the communicator, or like and finding it on the fall.
There it is.
And that could also be the reason why our search doesn't go unnoticed.
Ah, excellent. And I think we get the panels of Obi popping up the communicator and pressing to dial something, but when you bring it up, you hear both Mal and Mason like very shakily on the line.
Hello?
Hello.
Wait, what?
Ovi?
Mason, Mal, what?
Ovi,
Yes.
are you in the future?
How out of character? How would Mason know that?
Well, basically, your Mason is currently connected to I assume there's a lot of Masons on Earth. So to him, that would be like staring right into the sun.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that.
Like we're psychically connecting to a machine in the future, right?
No, you're psychically connecting to a machine now. It's just connecting. You're connecting to them in the future.
Yeah, but we are making the connection using psychic powers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if my psychic powers like are pointed in the direction of a lot of Masons, like I would know. Like I wouldn't be able to
okay.
talk to Ovi or Jet without also making some sort of contact with a bunch of
Okay.
Masons.
Oh shit.
Okay,
So-
excellent, cool. I get that now.
Yeah. So Mason kind of has to know what's up there.
We are. We're I don't know how, but I portaled forwards.
You guys have to get out of there, cause
Oh, I'm aware.
yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yep. I know.
Is that are you talking to Mason?
I don't know how, but yeah.
Give me that.
Can we get a panel where like Ovi and Jet just have like the phone in their hands and they're like, and it's up by like between both of their ears?
I like that.
Hey, buddy.
Wait,
You planning to come for us? You gonna be a team player?
I think at this point Mason is freaking out a bit and not replying. So it's up to Mel.
okay, so to reiterate, you're in the future. Where
Yes.
are you? What planet?
Earth.
Okay, where on Earth?
We're in one of my safe houses. I was about to try to start looking for like my friends here to see if they could help me get back. I guess we're also in the place that I first got sent back to the past, so maybe the tech is still here. I don't know if it's still in the space or if they took it. Either way, I was going to go looking for it.
Oh, wait, so you're in Moon Harbor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call Saber, modern Saber, like our Saber, and see what they can do about, I don't know, finding someone who can manipulate time to get out there and get you. I'm sure there's someone who can jump through time, or something. I don't want to leave this machine in case I lose contact with you. So, hey, Mason, can you make a double and have them go call Saber and try to get someone to help?
I mm, mm, I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like it. This is not good. I don't like it.
Okay, I don't like it either, but we have to get our people together. So, just call Saber. Just call Saber. Just shoot them a text. I don't care. Try to get in contact with them.
And Mason sends a text to Saber that just says help, 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 help.
Fantastic. And I think while we have the panels on Mason and Mal, we start hearing a humming coming through the psychic connection. And when we cut back over to Ovi and Jet, things in the room start lifting up off the ground and just kind of hover in the middle of the room. And then the roof of the building you're in gets ripped off. And above you, you see one of those large rectangular ships just starting to harvest this area.
Shit, we gotta go. Sorry, Mal. Sorry, Mason. Fuck. And then she hangs up.
Jet, what do you do?
I'm standing right next to Ovi. I grab her and I start jetting in the direction away from where things are getting sucked up. Which, of course, is not what you're supposed to do. You should always go sideways.
Have you let this happen as you're grabbed?
Yeah, I think once they've gotten a decent amount away, she's gonna try to portal time.
Cool. Let's start this with Jet. Give me an unleash your powers as you're running from this / jetting from this.
Whee! That's a 6.
That is a 6.
And we spent our team.
Whee!
So we get the panels of you just barely, like with your jets of water, outrunning the destruction behind you that's of stuff starts to lift into the air. You make it outside of the beam area, and there's a moment where you're starting to catch your breath, and these square ships break off of the main ship and start flying down towards you. You can see weapons charging on them. Ovi, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to create a portal to the image of the safe house that I saw earlier.
Cool. Go ahead and give me an unleash.
Oh, thank God, that's a 7.
All right. Do you want to mark a condition or unstable or temporary?
Oh man, God, this is gonna fuck me over. Gonna mark hopeless.
We get the portal popping open. I think like a laser blast flies through the portal right as you open it, so it misses you. And what are y'all doing?
You said the image was like the outside of a house or a building.
Yeah. I think it's like the block that the Monarch Power building used to be in.
Ooh.
So there's a safe house like within the ruins of that skyscraper. So like we see the street right outside that.
Is there anybody around?
Are you taking the time to look?
Probably not. She's probably going right for the door.
Jet, are you going through?
Yeah.
So we get Yuzu running through the portal. It's snapping shut behind. I think like as it snaps shut, we get another laser blast that just hits right where the portal shut. And we're going to cut back over to Mal and Mason. Where do you all want to be in this? Do you still want to be in the machine, or do you want to jump forward a bit?
Maybe jump forward a bit. What do you think, Mal?
I'm fine with jumping forward. I think we've just gotten off the phone with Saber.
Okay. Yeah, Saber has given you is essentially if you can get back to Moon Harbor, they have a beacon you can bring into space to try to have something Obi can lock onto in this time.
I think the next thing we see is like Mal flying down the hallways, going back towards that like reception room, and going to the computer screen lady and being like, "You were the most helpful person I've talked to today. I need to get to Earth. I was told there's teleportal capability on this ship, so how do I get to Earth now?"
Quick question. On this station, I don't think so. On this station, am I making this up, or did we talk about like there was ways to like ride through the space here to come out in various spaces?
I think we talked about that.
Am I remembering correctly?
I believe so. It may have been something that you and I talked about, though. So someone else should back me up here.
Can you repeat it, Icy?
What was the question?
I remember like we are talking about the like area around the space station being like folded space time. So there was a way to like travel great distances by flying through it certain ways.
Yeah, yeah,
That sounds kind of familiar.
Okay, does it sound cool? We good with it?
Yeah.
yeah.
She smiles and hands you another one of those small data pads and goes, "The route changes often, but this was the last way that someone made it quickly." And it shows a really erratic flight path that just seems to loop you around the station in odd trajectories several times.
Where are Mason and Mel right now?
I think the like main reception of the space station.
Cool.
I want to look at Mason and be like, look, if we don't want to go to the ship, I could just fly this pattern and I could just like teleport myself. I can survive in deep space. Do you want to stay here in case they try to contact us? And I'll just go there and come back as quickly as I can.
I don't know. This is not good.
Right, I know this isn't good, but I need you to focus. So, just help me make a decision. And I think I'm provoking him.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
That's a 1. Look at all that potential I just got.
Yup. Mason, what do you want to say to that? You're under no mechanical like pushes either way.
I think Mason looks at Mel and goes, "I'm not making psychic contact anymore, so I'm fine doing whatever else you want me to do."
Great, then let's go get the ship and fly to Earth.
Cool by me.
I'm gonna break out of game real quick to point out someone should probably tell Ovi the plan in the future.
We can't. She hung up and left.
You can use the machine again.
I mean, I figured we could do that once we got back with the beacon.
I also don't think that she took the communicator with her.
Okay, cool.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets, TB Huth, and Elliot Peterson, and edited by Anthony Sheets at Icy New Year or at icynewyear.com. T is a theater artist and educator in the DC area. She can be found at thuthplaywright on Twitter or tphuth94 on Instagram. Elliot can be found at Elliotylen, ELLIOTYLEN on Twitter. Sean can be found at The Crumpit, THECRUMPIT on Twitter. Moon Harbor Heroes is played using Masks: A New Generation, written by Brendan Conway and produced by Magpie Games. The music in this issue is Work by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. This issue is GM'd by Anthony Sheets. Stardust is played by T. Huth. Portali is played by Elliot Peterson. Jet is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at itsexphp on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Mason is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him as at Gilbereka, GILBERREKE on Twitter. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice or tell a friend. 5-star reviews and word of mouth are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out at patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus issues each month. And thank you for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.